How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan, this is Ade, and here we go. It's BoxTalk. Everyone, big subject. It's a tough one. Today, two-part special. Promoter Wars. Today we're going to look at the UK scene. Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports versus BoxNation and Frank Warren. Next video will be US version.
Yeah.
Showtime and Golden Boy versus their ultimate nemesis. Yeah,
Top Rank.
Yeah, shut up. HBO and Top Rank.
Fucking hell.
Ade, what do you think? What's going on with the UK scene? Is it working? Is it not working? Are the promoters helping each other?
No. Promoters ain't helping each other at all. The winners in this one, undoubtedly, are the fans. We're getting fights. Promoters are strong. Promoters now are full. It's almost like, let's be honest, there's only, whereas in America, you've got HBO and Showtime, over here you've really only got Sky. You've got other players, BoxNation, Channel 5, etc. But the real big player over here is Sky. So you get on that Sky contract like Eddie Hearn and Matchroom have done for the last 2 years, you have to perform. It's simple, you have to perform. You have to give people the fights they want to get your contract renewed, because literally, a couple of years ago they cut all of them and said they're going to go one promoter. Yeah. They cut Hatton, they cut Frank Warren, they cut Maloney, they cut Hennessy, and said we're going to get one promoter. And that's Eddie Hearn. And because of that, Eddie Hearn literally has signed every single boxer he can sign, and we're getting the fights we want.
But then, that's what HBO done that with Golden Boy. And look what that happened. I don't know what the American side now, but those Apple deals are not really good for the sport, because you end up giving dates without having fights. So you're not giving a guarantee of what fights you're gonna get. Yeah,
you're right, but we're forced. You almost feel like they're kind of pushing. And to be fair, let's be honest, in Britain in the last year or so, we've been saying it, we've been getting big fights.
Yeah.
We're getting bigger and better fights than we have in the past. We might not be getting the better Eubank kind of fights yet, but we're getting big, even pay-per-view fights. So so it means that they're almost forcing them to say, okay, on that date you've got to fulfill your date obligations. You've got to give us good fights. And Eddie Hearn is doing it.
So what do you think of the BoxNation side and Frank Warren?
Struggling, and I think the reason they're struggling is that they're giving us the American fights.
Yeah.
We're getting those American fights. We can't complain. We're getting good American fights. They're not getting any British fights.
Yeah.
They're not getting any good British fights. And the British fights they are getting...
It's all the Frank Warren development fighters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And his marquee names, obviously Burns left, Tony Bellew left, his biggest cash cow, Nathan Cleverly got beat. Yeah. Chisora is almost like kind of... he's in the middle. He's in the middle. He's not really... He's just above British scene, you would say, but he's definitely below the world level. Yeah. They got fighters like Leon Walsh and Billy Joe Saunders, again, up-and-coming fighters. So he's almost building fighters, and it's almost as though Eddie Hearn's stealing them once they've been built, and they're going on Sky TV.
See, I disagree with your idea on it. See, the problem I see is that boxing is a solitary sport already. Yeah. It's not getting a lot of numbers on TV. It's not getting a lot of paper time or press time. Having all the promoters divided and not helping each other, it's not helping the sport. I want to see boxing go back to where it used to be. I want to see boxing elevate itself. Yeah. And I think the way the promoters are treating each other, the way they're isolating each other, you're killing the sport. You're not doing what you want to do. You're looking for yourself and for your pockets more than for the sport itself. Yeah. When ultimately the sport fans pay your bills and fill your pocket. So you should really give them what you want. I know it's hard, but it'd be great to see a cross promotion battle. When have you seen a Frank Warren fighter and an Eddie Hearn fighter actually fight, or actually share the same bill because they've got a date?
No, it's happening. It's happening. I mean, you got Ryder fighting Billy Joe Saunders, and let's not forget when Paul Smith fought Tony Dodson recently on Matchroom card. Paul Smith's a BoxNation fighter. He signed. So you're getting little snippets of it happening. Obviously, it's not happening as much as we want, but it's happening.
That was through purse bids.
Yeah.
That wasn't by choice. That means someone outbidding and you had no choice but to give your fighter over. Yeah. That's not co-promotion. That's being bullied. You've been shut out of the promotion.
I think the thing is, and again, we don't want to go really on the HBO. We don't go HBO Showtime thing yet, but if you look at HBO and Showtime and Top Rank and Golden Boy very quickly, they've almost got marquee fighters on both. Yeah. So you know what I mean? So you almost could do a cross promotion, and it's cross promotion we want to see. Yeah. Unfortunately, at the moment for Frank Warren and Maloney and Hennessy, they've not really got the marquee fighters that we'd want to see fight against the Matchroom stable. Also, we've got Fury against Hay, but then Hay's not really signed to Matchroom.
It's kind of a co-promotion.
Exactly. Yeah. And we have, unfortunately for Frank Warren, all his best fighters unfortunately seem to be going to Matchroom. Yeah. So you're not getting rid of the cross promotion fights we want.
Okay. I think Eddie Hearn's the best promoter in England.
By far.
I think he's
a new breed of promoter.
He's a fan promoter. He's like a fan. He's got no fear. I want to make this fight. I'm going to make this fight.
Yeah.
And he will tell you the facts that look. Okay, he might not win, but I'm going to give him the opportunity to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him the best pay he's ever had.
Yeah.
And he kind of makes it open to know where you're at.
Yeah.
So I like what he's doing. I think he's doing tremendously well. I've got no criticism of him at all.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to see boxing back on TV. I want to see boxing grow. And having these fights, which is good, and developing and bringing everything into it is good. But I think more needs to be done. When you've got the power, the fighters, and the leverage, Matchroom Sports, huge company.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not just boxing.
Yeah, it's not just boxing.
Darts.
I think
Orient Football Club.
I think they can do more. I think they can. Even though they're doing more right now than everyone else, I think that edge to get back on TV is a market you need to look at.
To be fair, I actually think they're edging closer. Again, will ITV and BBC subscribe? We don't know, but they're edging closer in the sense of the fighters they've recently signed. Yeah. I mean, Luke Campbell, Olympic person, so he's got that back in. Andy Joshua's got that. Carl Froch is now starting to get that kind of TV backing and coverage that he should have had. I mean,
he's now on that dancing show.
Exactly, the dancing show on ITV. I mean, we're getting good British sold-out arena fights that I think we struggled with Frank Warren, which is probably why he lost the Sky contract. We don't know the ins and outs of it, but we're getting good British blockbuster fights. George Groves versus Froch would be a great fight.
This is not a fact, but Frank lost his Sky contract because he was giving terrible fights. The fights were set-up fights. You knew before the fight even happened who was going to win. Yeah. I mean, it was a really, really bad promotion, and he got away with that for a long, long time. The thing about Frank Warren, which you have to give him credit for, he's a survivor. He's been in the game for 30 plus years, and he's always reinvented himself and came through. Yeah. So even though I don't think he's doing well right now, I think he's struggling because he's changed from Frank Warren promotions to FW promotions, and you had the whole bankruptcy type of things, whatever. He knows how to promote and he knows how to survive. He's always done what he has to do to be relevant in the sport. And if BoxNation actually did kick off the way it should kick off, he could, in theory, dominate the sport. I mean, any boxing fan wants a dedicated boxing channel. Yeah. The problem is,
you don't want to subscribe to it.
You don't want to subscribe to it. I mean, and their subscription rules are ridiculous.
No, you're right about Frank Warren. I mean, I love him or hate him, he's been around for years. I mean, he's promoted some of the best fighters out there. We've seen some good fights as well. And I think at the moment it is survival mode. I mean, hence why Barry McGuigan's gone over, hence why he's signed Ricky Hatton's team, Hatton Promotions, obviously Frank Maloney's gone over there as well. So it's almost like they're trying to build this big powerhouse of promoters to try and take on Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn's almost a new age kind of promoter. He's really taken to social media well. I mean, he's young, he's got that kind of charming thing. And you almost feel with him as well, whether it's true or not, you almost feel like he loves his fighters. I mean, he goes into the ring after and it's like real emotion. It's almost beyond the money thing for him. It's almost a case of, I just want my fighters to win. He's getting them world title fights. They're winning. Darren Barker, Froch with Lucian Bute was a title fight. You can't really complain.
I can imagine Eddie Hearn after a fight speaking to the fans and meeting the people and doing what's going on.
Does it? He does it. He does it. With all the interviews on YouTube, you can see it.
I couldn't see Frank Warren doing that. Yeah, Frank Warren, nah, it's not going to happen. You know, I reckon for BoxNation to grow, I think they can step backwards to go forwards.
I mean, in terms of just getting all the young fighters? Or?
No, I think it's down with their promotion, their package they're offering. Like when they have it's like £10 a month or whatever, but you have to pay a signing fee and blah blah blah. That's not going to get the casual fan in.
Yeah.
But if they charge a sign up, so if they charge like £5 a month, guaranteed for 12 months, you might get the casual people in, and then increment over a period of time, bring the price back up for people to get the new people in. I mean, if you've got people who like boxing as a casual sport, they're not going to put out £10 a month plus their £10 admin fee when you sign up, whatever. In a recession, they need to look at how you're going to get people in. Putting people in is what counts for the sport.
I think what they've tried to do and what's been their best survival tactic is they've obviously tried to outbid Sky and whoever on the big American fights. I mean, I think to bring casual British fans in, you need to get the big British fights. And at the moment, like you say, because they've lost a lot of their marquee fighters, a lot of them. I mean, that must be painful. And not only that, but then, if you sense their marquee fighter right now, Nathan Cleverly, we don't know if he's going to fight again. He didn't really seem like he was interested after that fight. So really and truly, in terms of their big name at the moment, it's Billy Joe Saunders and Derek Chisora, who are not household names at the moment. You're not going to tune in to watch those guys. I like Derek Chisora a lot, but I don't think I'm going to pay £10 subscription to see him fight a nobody. Do you know? That's a tough one.
I tell you what, if you saw the Sky release their promotional,
they have absolutely tried to swallow BoxNation.
They destroyed them with the fight Sky's going to be showing in the next 3 to 4 months. With Eddie Hearn, I see no way for BoxNation till December. I mean, unless they sign, it's funny. Just came to my head. Have you noticed how BoxNation has actually just signed all the Golden Boy cards and all the Sky cards by Top Rank?
Yeah. There's obviously something in that.
Yeah,
there's obviously something in that. Behind the scenes,
there's clearly a lie.
There's behind the scenes, yeah. You know, you almost feel like there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about in terms of, like you say, Frank Warren is not going to take this line down. You can't be in the business for 30 years and you see a young, good-looking guy like Eddie Hearn try and run you out of the business. He's taking it personal as well. I mean, he's been really derogatory towards Eddie Hearn's dad. So he's really good.
Frank's got his sons in the promotional business as well, but they're nowhere as high profile as Eddie Hearn. So Frank Warren's column in The Sun every Saturday, and some of the stuff he says, I mean, very, very bitter. Very, very bitter. I mean, like, I don't see he's a bitter old man, but he's a bitter old man. I mean,
I'm not saying that Frank Warren's a gangster. He might know where you live.
He says things like, every fighter's the best fighter he ever signed.
So they leave him, he destroys them.
I mean, like Ricky Burns, the decision against Ricky Burns was a terrible decision, but it was not Ricky Burns' fault. As far as Frank Warren's concerned,
it's some sort of dodgy thing. How many Frank Warren fights have been dodgy decisions? Yeah, he doesn't mention it. What I don't like is when a fighter leaves and then he almost openly says, "I offered him that fight, this fight." That's behind the scenes. It's almost like leave it alone. Stop being like that. You dominated and had Sky TV for so many years. Someone else has now had a go, and there seems to be this real negativity.
What did Frank Warren do? Frank Warren offered, I think it was before the Kessler fight was signed. Frank Warren
offered
Carl to fight George Grohl. No, fight Nathan Cleverly. For like
£1 million, £1 million pounds, and I think he came out and said, Carl Froch has never had this kind of purse before. And thank God, after watching what coming and did to Cleverly, thank God Carl Froch did not sign that fight to fight Cleverly.
But you know, that's really cheeky though. That you send to the press, I offered the money, but you already knew the fight was Kessler was already signed. So you're trying to put the fighters down and make it look like they're ducking you. They're not ducking you.
But to be fair,
you can easily offer. If someone's already agreed to fight someone, you can offer them any money amount in the world. You can't break the contract.
Yeah, but to be fair, as much as that was wrong, you know what he's trying to do. Obviously, promote. He's trying to hype his own fight. Again, at least it was an attempt at him for a cross-promotion fight. We've not really seen Eddie Hearn do the same back. Maybe like I said, maybe Frank Warren doesn't have the stable of fighters Eddie Hearn wants him to do, but we haven't seen the same back. But no, I mean, I think the only person that wins here at the moment, maybe not in the American scene, we'll touch that on part 2, but in terms of the British scene, we're still getting the fights we want. Maybe because there is that one. We're getting Froch Groves that might not have happened with the cross promotion, obviously Groves being a Frank Warren fighter before. So we're getting the fights that we want to see at least.
Okay.
And have they come on? I mean, is Bentley a better fighter now than he was when he signed to Frank Warren?
Okay, here's the problem you're going to have, when you have these promotional bases, whereas you have one huge camp or huge camps, the amount of fights Eddie Hearn has right now is going to get to a point where his 20 Sky dates, take out, I think it's 8 of them for prize fighter. He's got 12 dates, and he's got X amount of marquee fighters. Does he have enough dates to cover his fighters?
But what he's doing is quite smart.
There will clearly be times where if there was a cross promotion, he could have done another.
What he's doing that's smart that he didn't used to a prize fighter now. He's getting one of the marquee names to top the prize fighter all the time. He's starting to do that now.
He has to because he's got so many great fighters, but he ain't got enough dates. If you look at 20 dates in a calendar year, that's about 5 months.
Yeah, but we're getting stacked cards. That's one thing we're getting in with stacked cards. We're getting at least four or five marquee names on the same card. And I mean, like I said, the only people that win in this thing, I mean, you said the casual boxing fan misses out because cross promotion. Let's forget that for a second because Frank Warren has no fighters. I mean, Barry McGuigan has one fighter. Frank Maloney right now has half a fighter in David Price. So so forget those fighters because they don't really offer anything. We're getting the fights we want to see. Finally, we're getting the fights we want to see. I mean, even this Saturday, we're getting Derry Matthews versus Curtin Woodhouse. I fight the problem we've got before. Little domestic fights that kind of get the juices flowing a bit.
No, and that's a good fight. That's a very
great
good
little fight.
I'm looking forward to that.
Great little fight.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Again, though, when you have these two shows going at the same time on BoxNation, they're gonna show
Ryder versus
Saunders and Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora fighting who?
I can't remember.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
Derek Chisora had a great one against Malik Scott, and then why does Derek Chisora need a tune-up fight? Give him someone.
But then here's the joke though. So now you got competing times. So you as a boxing fan, you can't watch both shows.
Yeah, but
not cross promote. You're counter programming.
Yeah.
is not helping no one.
But I know I'd rather watch free or pay. Free, Curtis Woodhouse against Derry Matthews, or pay John Ryder, Billy Joe Saunders. For me, free.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at this. The promotion scene is getting better in the UK thanks to Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well done, Eddie.
Yeah.
Well done, Eddie.
Yeah.
Watch our videos, Eddie.
Yeah. But I think that with that type of star power and clout, I think they need to get more marquee value in the fights for the general fans. You know what I mean? Build the sport back to where it used to be, and and do the right thing. I don't want to sound bad, but the way Frank Warren's looking right now, I don't know what he's going to do next because I don't see no big names going to go sign with him. So if Eddie Hearn's leading the sport, lead the sport.
Yeah, no, you're right. If Eddie Hearn is leading the sport, and I think Eddie Hearn is almost doing this smart thing. He's almost got generations of fighters as well. You've got the top level guys and experienced guys like the Carl Froch, the Darren Barkers. You've got the mid-level fighters that are on the crest of world title fights like Kell Brook and a few others, Andy Crawler and Ricky Burns, who obviously is the world title holder. And they've got the fresh fighters in terms of Lee Selby, Andy Joshua, and Luke Campbell. So he's almost like got the future, he's got the present, and he's got what probably in terms of Carl Froch and Dan Marco will be the past in a few years. Not now, guys. You guys still are great fighters.
That's what I want to see though, with Eddie Hearn. How he develops these young fighters. How he's going to develop Andy Joshua.
Yeah.
That's something. He's only been in the game for 2-3 years. He hasn't developed a fighter from scratch. I think developing a fighter is such an intricate part of making a great fighter. And this development process is going to be one to watch, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, another thing I like about the Eddie Hearn thing that you didn't really see with maybe Frank Warren fighters, or maybe did, I just can't remember. They all seem to support each other. It all seems like one big family. When one fights, you see like all of them in ringside, literally all screaming on for their fighter to win. And you kind of feel like he's almost created this really big family atmosphere. All of them are getting the shots. They're getting Commonwealth shots, English title shots, European shots.
Do you remember we went prize fighter over at York Hall?
And we saw Kell Brook was there.
We saw
Darren Barker was at ringside as well.
And that was just like Paul Martinez.
Yeah.
So he was still much healing his wounds, licking his wounds.
And that's before he signed like the likes of Tony Bailey and the rest of them.
Supporting his team.
And that's what you got to think. So guys, what do you think? I mean, are we getting better fights because of this one giant promoter in terms of Eddie Hearn? Or as Ryan said, are we missing out on maybe good matchups? Leave your comments below. We want to know. Is Eddie Hearn going to take over boxing? Will Frank Warren fight back with BoxNation? Email us at
BoxTalk@hotmail.co.uk.
Guys, thanks for watching another edition of BoxTalk.